Hey, welcome back everyone. This is a continuation of the last previous episode that got cut off. For some reason, it stops at 14 minutes and some odd seconds, and then continues on at 17. Anyways, I'll continue on from here because this was originally a part of the video. And for some reason this portion did not go through, so sorry about the recording of a recording, but let me just continue on from here. And it's not because they want to learn more about it. It's because they're going to understand how they want to know how I'm using it as a weapon. Because I'm going to be shooting them down as they come in and as they come out, and they're gonna learn about it because they want to know how to use it themselves as a weapon. They also want to know how they can use it to defend themselves as well, because this is going to be open season, and open season is going to be coming up here soon. And they're going to start, there's going to be a line coming out your door when it comes to Bitcoin Education Day. Because if they're that clueless and they don't realize the things that I want to do with it, or they're going to start realizing some of the things that I'm going to do with it, they're going to want to quickly learn how to do this as well. Because I think they're going to start getting attacked from all sides. And it's not just me. Other people are going to catch on to this. Nope, sorry about that. Messed up. Yeah, I'll fix that. And let me put you on pause. Hello everyone. The things that I want to do with it. Or they're going to start realizing some of the things that I'm going to do with it. They're going to want to quickly learn how to do this as well. Because I think they're going to start getting attacked from all sides. And it's not just me. Other people are going to catch on to this, and they're going to start, building the bunkers, building the turrets right in front of Congress. And like I said, anything that comes in is going to get shot down. Anything that comes out, it's also going to get shot down. And then, there's going to be people on the inside, and they're going to just attack every day. But they're only going to attack the ones that are the terrorists, all right? They disguise themselves, all right? Terrorists are, the terrorists. Yeah, I said it. The terrorists. They disguise themselves. They look harmless in some ways. They look like they're not going to do anything. But if you ask him, or her, or whatever, if you ask this person, what are you, how do you feel about Bitcoin? They have no choice. I mean, a no answer is as good as saying you don't agree with Bitcoin. So no answer is just as good as a, you're against Bitcoin. So you have to literally, proclaim Bitcoin and say, I agree with Bitcoin. I will not restrict the use of Bitcoin. I will not restrict the flow of Bitcoins being used. You're going to have to say it. And then you can just walk freely. You will not be harmed in any way. You could come in and go. Your career is safe. So, anyways, there's Ms. Boring, and I've never met her. I wish to maybe one day meet, because I've actually read some of her articles when I first started Bitcoin trading. You may even see it in some of my videos. And then for her to actually create a nonprofit and have to say, it's more than what anybody else I know has done, including myself. So, and then read the articles, read what she's doing, have fun. But yeah, I tried to teach Congress about Bitcoins, and I know maybe on the first day it falls on deaf ears, and even if you showed them, some of them are blind, deaf and blind. But I'm sure that's going to change, because there's going to be some casualties that come up, and then when they realize that hunting season has opened, they're going to want to learn everything about Bitcoin and how to start using it for themselves, how to defend themselves, because it's going to be open season, and they basically they're unarmed, literally. So, anyways, that's one, and then let me go on to some of the others here. In this one, so I started going through Cointelegraph and looking up all the women, most of them recently, I think, but and I started looking into it, what drives these women to do what they do. And so I saw some of her interviews and her videos, and this is another way someone is trying to bring into the world the acceptance of Bitcoin. And for anybody out there who doesn't know, I mean, just she has some interviews on YouTube and stuff like that, and read the questions and answers. And then sometimes I read the comments, and they're not, of course, when sometimes it can be threatening I think, for men, but I think men have to realize you can't do this alone. When you're creating a new world, you're going to need some women. And then this one recently, and by far this particular person is really catches your eye, not because of the way she looks or anything. For me, she catches my ear. I've seen some of the videos that she's done, and interviews, questions and answers, and when you see those, you know that it's not just the looks or the beauty. It's what's inside. It really is. I want to know what's inside these people. And so, recent article, and then this person as well, another person in Canada, Toronto, just went out and doing things, and like I said, I don't know any of these people, but I would like to meet and have a chance to speak with them. I don't know if that's possible because I tried to go into Canada. I mentioned in my videos I'm going to Canada, and I did. I barely made it over to the border before I was turned away. And so, for whatever reason, I guess Canada's not quite ready. And I have to admit, I apologize. I said I would go, but I did. The problem is I wasn't allowed to stay, and so I'm gonna have to try again. Or people of Canada, you have the right to leave. Matter of fact, I was reading an article that more Canadians are now accepting their wages in Bitcoin, and it's my belief that they're ready. They're ready for the great exodus. They're gonna leave Canada as soon as they get enough Bitcoins. They're just gonna literally just walk over that border, or I guess they'll drive over and they're never coming back. They're never coming back. And why would you? Why would you go back? So, anyways, here's another one, and I've seen some interviews that she had on regarding Bitcoin. So, again, I'm not trying to specifically say these are the people that represent Bitcoin for women. What I'm saying is, in the new world, and also I think there was a Bitcoin, Afghan women who are getting into the use of Bitcoin. I didn't see that story, but I'm sure it's in there too. But you know, when you're creating a new world, you're gonna need women to be involved. I mean, I don't know what to say. It's not gonna a whole bunch of men is not gonna work very long. It's not gonna go beyond that generation. And so, yeah, that's what I have to say. Anyways, I'll go to on chart analysis. So these are some women I've noticed that have gotten the attention, I guess. Research, find out what they're about. I know for most men, when it comes to the opposite sex, it changes your perspective, and it does. There's a whole, I think, a whole another world when it comes to interacting with the opposite sex. There's more things that are involved other than money, trading, or business activity, and that's just by nature. There's nothing wrong with that. So, anyways, I just want to talk about that and make this episode to discuss women in the Bitcoin space. And yeah, they represent a small percentage, but if you're trying to do anything, or if you want to incorporate any change, any real change, you have to include women into whatever you're doing. You have to, because without women, it's pretty much dead. You're not going to get anywhere beyond what's in front of you, and that's just my opinion. So here are some women that are trying to do things. You should get to know their motivation, and I hope that inspires other women, because I think the more women are going to come in, you're going to see more use of Bitcoins. So, anyways, there it is. I want to talk about this specifically because, you know, when you do it the first time, I think it's gonna, you know, for me, what's bringing these people here to learn about Bitcoins? And there's two ways you can get people to motivated to do something. You can have them run to it, or you could have them run away from something to make them run to it. And so a run, how can I say this? They're going to have a fear that's going to drive them to learn about Bitcoin, or they're going to have some kind of benefit, a pleasure in their reasoning to learn about Bitcoin. And I'm not going to be very nice about what I do, and so I'm going to be driving fear, and I hope they respect that fear, because it's also the same fear that's going to save them, and hopefully they'll be running towards you, Miss Boring, to learn as much as they can, because they're going to need to in order to survive. Anyways, I'm running a little long on this episode. Let me try to do a quick chart analysis. Let me pause. Hold on. All right. Take a little break here. So let me go into a quick chart analysis here. And okay, there we go. Okay, so I usually just stick to a Bitfin because last time I checked, they're by far, well, maybe that's changed because Bitsy has these bots that are trading with each other, or some unusual activity on the volume. In any case, I'm just going to do Bitfin because I think on average they're by far the leading exchange by volume in US dollars anyway. So 481. Okay, so last time I mentioned that there's a downturn, and there was, and now it's testing the average here on the 10 period average here, and I would expect it to bounce, and it's going to bounce until this other 25 period average gets down closer, and it's going to probably, if it does break through, it's going to hit up against that and then bounce around or just straight fall back down. And so it's having a really difficult time breaking out of this long downturn here, and it's not really a problem. I mean, I've said it's probably going to range, and it needs to do a couple things to break out of it. It's going to have to break out of that highest high. It's going to have to break through to have it go back up. So it's not unreasonable to think that it's coming down off of this high, only to possibly surge up again. And I've mentioned since all this scenario right here that there's a good chance that it's just going to range up and down, which it has. So it's ranging up and then down, and it's just going through a basic range channel. So from here to here to here, it's just hitting up, going down, hitting up, breaking up, hitting the top, going down, moving around, hitting the top again, going back down, finally break down through, and then maybe even break down a little bit more. And so you're looking at just a change in the range. It's just going sideways. So if you pull back further, and this is just kind of what I'm seeing, I mean, you don't, okay, you all don't have to listen to anything that I say, but let's go on a daily, pull back here. And so, you know, Bitfin doesn't have too much of a graph chart, but if you look at it, here's the spike in the price. It was 1,000, coming down, bouncing up, coming down, bouncing up, coming down, and it'll just, and this is probably where it's going to end up, just this median level right here. It's just going to play around in there, and I'm going to go to Bitstamp. Now, it doesn't usually have to happen like this, but if you just look at the history of how Bitcoins react, it just, see, I mean, that's kind of what I'm talking about, is this looks just like, very similar to this on a different scale. And so what you're going to see is this range, and the range is like huge. It's like 5, 6, 7, like a $300 ranging. But if you compared it to what happened right here, it's about a $300. If you scaled it, it'd probably be about the same. And so if you look at this and you look at that, it just, and you see it in other charts. You'll see it in stock charts. You'll see it in sometimes forex charts. You know, anything that's kind of new and gets its first heartbeat, it's a small blip, and then the second heartbeat that's even larger, and then as time goes on, it just gets bigger. And you have to ask yourself, why is that? Well, it's just the way how it works. When you have limits limited supply versus an infinite amount of money being made. So a finite supply versus infinite supply. What's going to happen to the finite supply, the value? You're just going to see this. And you're going to see this in stocks, you're going to see it in some currencies, some commodities. You'll see the same similar kind of little situation, the curving up and then the smoothing out. This could be a larger, this, for me, Bitcoin's, you can do this to infinity. This is going to go to infinity. So, that's just my opinion. Anyways, this is a long episode. I want to keep it short, but I just want to keep in mind, this is a very long journey, and I hope you all can handle this, because some of you may go crazy. You may not make it. The ups and downs of life is, also has a flow from the ups and downs of Bitcoin. So anyways, I'll end it off on Bitfin, and I'll try to zoom in a little bit more. So there you go. This is the end of my episode here. I think I talked long enough. Feel free to comment, like, dislike, or even do a video response. Until next time, stay tuned. Hello everyone, welcome back. In this episode I want to go over alright everyone, that was a portion of my episode on this. Some reason it got cut out. Don't know what's going on, but here you go. And hopefully you've benefited from watching or learned something. Anyways, I'll end this episode here, and until next time, stay tuned, and feel free to comment, like, dislike, even leave a video response. Bye now.